Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and welcome to another episode of Inside Veterans Affairs. I want to introduce the one, the only, the truly gifted Belinda. Hello. It's been a long time.
Hello, it has.
If any of you all don't know who this is, she's the right hand of the Disabled Vets Perspective, and she's been out of the loop for a while. And I got a puppy stealing my mouse. But she's back and in full effect. We got a cool show going for you tonight, so a few things to talk about. So where the hell have you been, Belinda?
Well, I got sick around Christmas time, and I just have not recovered well at all. I've had a bit of a time of it.
Well, that sucks. But a lot of people out here were praying for you, so that helps a lot.
Oh, well, thank you.
Want to take a second here and wave my hand. Wow, Miss RRC, R-rated conservatives best half, just dropped a diamond on us in the D Live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You just rock. You both do. I mean, you more than him, of course. You know, got to be fair. Frank Crawford, good to see you, brother. Welcome to Facebook. I'm glad you joined us over there. And let's see, look forward to learning more about your outreach and to help. Good. Awesome. All right, so we got Duke all over here. We got Gary Holland. Um, let's see, Lori, welcome. Dog Adopter, how you doing? Another Gary, Chrysler Imperial, another Lori, another Duke. Look at that, Chrysler again. Dangerous Freedom. What's happening? Good show last night, by the way. Mark B, welcome. 12B, Georgia. How you doing? I hope that we will have you pleasantly offended by the end of this stream. And of course, DM, she had to step away to finish a chore for a second, but she will return because that's the woman that she is. Yo, mama just joined us, an old broad too. Good to see all you folks. All right, well, we got the house is filling at this point. Good Lord. Mrs. RRC just dropped another diamond in D Live. Wow. Was it the fact I said I like you better than him, or do I need, I'm not sure. But anyway, he's probably over there in the background going, these guys are real ass. Yeah, it was cool. We're on it. I enjoyed it. All right. So, how would you like the honor of starting out the show with something new and interesting and perhaps something nobody's heard of yet for this episode? Since you've been gone so long, let you catch up.
Okay. My internet is quite bogged down, so it takes me a minute to get pages to come up.
Gun loving grandpa, how you doing?
If anybody was in the Navy is suspending all their PT tests until the end of June. So, and if you were on the Fat Boy program, they're not going to kick you out right now. Huh?
I said, eat the fat food.
Right? So they're suspending all of those. They're also not going to be telling you what ship sailors are on that get the virus. They're going to stop telling us what ships they come from to. I guess people can get pretty hysterical when they find out where people have the virus. And that's why they're not releasing names. Bob in Jacksonville got the virus.
Yeah.
So people don't get, weird and start doing possibly bad things to them. The VA is trying to be proactive with the virus. I went last Monday and last Tuesday, and their whole proactive bit was lady standing there with a clipboard. Are you sick? Do you feel bad? Nope. Okay, you can go in. That was about the extent of my coronavirus screening at 2 VAs last week. So,
right.
And I don't even know if they asked Randy anything. I think he just walked on in because he wasn't there for an appointment.
Huh? Good to see you. Right. Just waving my hand at some of the folks that have just jumped in. We got Propus, DM's back in the house, so she made it back safe and sound. And then Pete and Wolf Stonehenge. Just waving my hand at all y'all.
Well,
so
hello,
yeah, we're
everybody.
We get a few people trickling in here. All right. So yeah, I've got a few articles actually about what's going on with the VA, and again, I think this is really literally going to be the second week in a row where the majority of what we're doing is it's literally going to be talking about preparedness for the sniffles because that's it is all that is in the news, even the military news. So every article has something to do with it. It's kind of ridiculous. Internet is slow everywhere. Yeah, Carmageddon says that, and that's true. It's being throttled back. Just pay attention to April 1st through the 10th. You need to look that up. You might be surprised what might be happening. Um, yes, everybody should have their coffee by now. It should be mandatory and captain's orders by this time. You should have your coffee every Sunday night when we start this show. Belinda, I know you would follow orders. You've been a good soldier all the way through.
I don't follow them so
Don't
well.
blow it out your nose though. Yeah, I know you're so defiant.
Yeah, I like to
Um,
give.
yeah, I like them Muppets, right? Um, what did I miss on Duke? Um, I shared, and I went eaten by that bear. I am truly sorry to hear that. I hope you heal up quickly. I cracked my shin today and gave myself a nice little extended shin splint. Hey, see, good to see you. So that sucked. I'm still dealing with pain from that. Probably will for several days until it kind of heals up. If you've ever had shin splints, you know how much it sucks. If you've ever done a linear fracture on your shin bone, you probably know how much that sucks. And I decided to do that today. Thought it'd be fun. It's not fun. All right,
Stop it.
enough of my blethering. I want to hit, of course, the normal starting point for our show is the Office of Public and Intergovernmental Affairs. They are not removing some of the older updates. I think they're a little busy. So it looked like they had a whole bunch of new articles this week, but they really don't. Um, the three that are new this week, it says VA announces change in urgent care in Community Care Network Region 1. Um, I'm thinking I went over this last week, but I'm going to just go over the header on it. But it says the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs is transitioning its urgent care network manager effective March 18th from Tri-West Healthcare Alliance to Optum Public Sector Solutions Incorporated, which is part of the United Health Group Incorporated in Community Care Network Region 1. So
Really? Because
anyway, they're going to be doing.
they're
Go ahead.
swapping the
You're
provider.
using.
We're using
Yes.
TriWest right now because of Randy's heart attack. That's who all of our bills are being sent to.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, so the transition may have already happened, and they're just a little late getting it into the headlines. Um, two beers. Okay. Uh, Let me let's see. The next one here is a national crematories to adjust operations in response to COVID-19. All U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and VA national crematories are open and will continue to provide interments for veterans and eligible individuals. However, effective March 23rd, as part of the agency's response to the sniffles COVID-19 committal service and rendering of military funeral honors will discontinue until further notice. So if you if you have somebody that's on their way out, you need to be making a call and find out how you're going to handle this from this point. Um, if you have somebody that has already departed, same thing. I know I shouldn't say it quite like that, but hell, if you have somebody you're ready to kick off, I mean, let's be serious. You got to still find out what you're going to have to do with them. So keep it in mind.
I just didn't
Remember,
expect you to say
criminals
that.
don't obey anything. Well, you got to speak truth around here.
Well, I
But
know. I just didn't expect
yeah,
it to
so
sound like that.
yeah, well, you should be used to me by now.
I am.
Kind
That's
of
why I'm laughing.
rub off a little bit. Yep.
They said here at Jacksonville that you
All
could
right.
have 10 members or less at the funeral, but they won't be doing colors or anything like that. But you could have 10 or less people. If you wanted a full military funeral, you had to wait till this was over.
Right. Everybody needs to be very careful with all the people home and doing things around the house. Be careful not to get injured and go to the ER. I had a friend cut his finger to the bone yesterday. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about
Many
when I
God.
had a trailer tongue crush my shin this afternoon. But I'm not going to the ER because I didn't break it all the way through. I gave myself a linear fracture, which is quite painful, but not enough of an issue to try to put a cast on it or anything because there's still enough bone to hold the structure together while it heals. So, yeah, when you are in a lockdown situation, major injuries can be a major problem. So, bottom line is don't get injured. Wow, Propus DM and Carmageddon dropped some lemons on me. Pete the Patriot threw a lemon at me. I'm not surprised about that one at all. And he dropped an ice cream. I am getting hungry. And Belinda's over here going, just what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah,
But it's D Live. You got to keep up. We're
I
we are
cannot.
reaching out at this point. We're broadcasting worldwide. We are on D Live, we're on Facebook, and we are on YouTube.
I should
So,
have combed my
hello,
hair.
Margot. Good to see you. Yeah, me too. But when you got a face that looks this good, you don't got to touch nothing.
Oh
Anyway,
my
so
God.
look at okay. I know nothing on nothing in addition on Facebook, but all right. So I know my daughter-in-law's watching me on Facebook, so I'm waving my hand. Hi, hi, lovely. Joe never drops ice cream. Oh, well, that's a shame. Oh, by the way, that's California Cricket for all of you who are wondering, because I screwed up his name one day, and now I'm never going to give him his name back because I like California Cricket much better. Maybe it's
Well,
because he always saying "Ole Bacho." No, please go ahead.
um, California has, from what I've read, all of their VA
Yeah.
stuff is being shut down in one form or another. The hospitals are still open, but I saw a blurb on the bottom of the VA page that said they're considering consolidating the VA clinics there in certain areas. So for people in California,
Right,
yeah, that need to go see a doctor at the VA, you might want to look into which ones are open because they've closed all the veteran
right.
benefits offices nationwide, but you can still call, you can still file your claim. You just have to do everything online.
Okay. Um, just Duke Rawl just dropped a diamond on me, and so did Pete the Patriot. You guys are awesome, man. That's a lot of diamonds. I feel like I'm full of carrots right now, and maybe that's a pun. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, let me finish up the last one here. This is pertaining to folks that are on the GI Bill, and I know there's been some panic because last weekend I made the announcement. Let's see here. It says the announcement from last week was VA intends to suspend enrollment of new GI Bill students at universities, but update this week: veterans GI Bill benefits to continue during the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm going to open that one because it affects so many people that are going through further education. Um, Let me just wait. Well, I don't have it open. Just a second. 12B Georgia. Hey, East Wind. Um, Atlanta
Trump
VA
signed
said
into
call
law.
before you come into the hospital. Yeah.
Is that what you're looking
Go ahead,
for? Where
Belinda.
Trump signed into law 3503 on March 21st, which enabled the VA to continue providing the same level of education benefits to students having to take courses online due to the coronavirus? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay.
Yes, actually it is. Yeah, you're doing a fine job. You got
The law
right on the
gives
page with me.
the law gives the VA
Oh,
temporary
please.
authority to continue the GI payments uninterrupted in the event of national emergencies, allowing for continued payment of benefits even if the program has changed from resident training to online training.
Sergeant Bob and Pete, thanks again. Lemons. Yeah, that is exactly what's written on my page. That's amazing. I didn't
Amazing.
realize we both got the memo. So yeah, it is important that you guys know that if you are requiring going home, you're not going to lose your GI benefit. You're just going to have to transition to online education. You need to talk to your counselors about it because every school's going to have a different idea of what homeschooling looks like. And if you have any questions whatsoever, GI Bill, you need to be getting on the horn with your VA representative. As far as I know, they are still going to the office. I don't know if these folks are working from home, but I would believe that they are going to still be able to receive phone calls. They would just have to forward them. So, have you heard that, Belinda? Are you
Yeah, I've
aware
heard
of
that
if
they've all
the
been sent home.
VA reps are still?
I heard that anybody that can telecommute is telecommuting. And so don't try to go to your veteran benefits office. Don't try to go to any of those places. And our VA here really is pushing. We got a letter that says they want us to do tele-appointments. If you need an appointment, call. We'll coordinate a time and the doctor will call you on the phone. My doctor called me on Saturday.
What did he call you? Ow. Just hit my leg. I deserve that.
He called me ma'am.
I just slapped my damn leg, the one that I cracked today. That really sucks. But, Scarecrow and
Good
Pete,
for you.
thank you guys. Another couple of ice creams. I'm good. I'm glad I'm so good with pain. I can laugh at it because, man, sometimes it sucks. God, shit. Yeah. Oh, damn near waters my eyes. Whew. Okay, what a rush. I'm going to get on to the next thing here. Somebody stop me. Okay. All right. Now, going into the articles on military.com. Oh, I don't need a pillow. I can't have my leg up that high. U.S. Defense Department announces first coronavirus death. And I just probably got my channel flagged by saying the stupid C word. You can say COVID-19 and you can say the sniffles. But if you say that other word that's longer, then your channel gets flagged.
China virus.
Stupid. Anyway, yes. The U.S. military contractor has died after contracting the sniffles, officials with Defense Department announced Sunday. Crystal City, Virginia-based contractor who worked at the Defense Security Corporation agency died March 21st, according to the DoD release. DSCA provides assistance and resources to U.S. allies. Its headquarters is inside the Pentagon. So, California critic DVP almost watered his eyes, cut back on the methane release.
Are you seeing the news?
That's it. Go ahead.
I lost it because my internet's slow. They couldn't come to an agreement on the stimulus package. Breaking
You know
news.
why?
Uh,
because
I know a couple of names
that
as to why.
bitch Pelosi wants to corporations to buy back their stock, and she won't give up on that.
That's what you and I were talking about earlier.
They,
Absolutely. And I think that,
yeah, she needs to get removed from her seat because she is blocking critical things, and she's going to force the president into enacting one of the most insane power grabs a president can possibly get a hold of. Um, yeah, all right. Um, yeah, Romney's in quarantine. Yeah,
oh,
yeah, that's too bad. Was that sarcastic? No, no, no.
I feel so bad.
Uh, anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of them need that so they can get the hell out of their Congress and get out of the way so stuff can get done. But we got to be careful with that because the Federal Reserve Act was signed by only a handful of people that were actually in chambers. The rest of them were at home asleep. And they're going to try that same thing with this huge gun grab bill they've got going through. They're going to try to pass that with a skeleton crew and get it into law before anybody can return.
Well, then the Republicans better stay awake and go every place that they're supposed to be.
Right. They just, this idea that they only have to have the people that are in chambers to vote. And a lot of times, that's some of the stuff needs to change.
Did you see where Comcast is offering free internet to disabled veterans and low income families?
No, please
Yeah.
tell me because I have not seen that. That really could help a lot.
A revised program from Comcast, is giving disabled veterans and low income military families free area internet connections for 2 months. It's called the Internet Essential Plan, which provides qualifying users with basic internet services for $9.95 a month. So I guess you have to call Comcast, see if you qualify, and
Yeah, okay.
get your internet for $9.95 a month if you can get that type
Well,
of internet.
no, I don't.
You don't qualify,
Yeah,
or you
I
can't get that
only have
kind.
satellite out here, so it's irrelevant. But it's got to be right. I can't get it, but
Yeah.
some people out there can. So you need to look into that. And I always make it a point to say that if there are programs that help the VA, help the veterans, discounts and things like that, veterans need to suck up a little bit of that pride and ask for those programs, ask for the discounts, because when you sign that dotted line, you signed it in blood. And if somebody's willing to give you a discount for your blood signature, then go for it.
Yeah. If you qualify, why not?
I got an article here. Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, don't be afraid to get discounts and things you qualify for. So, do it. But I got an article that I actually found in the pile of COVID-19 headlines that kind of made my eyebrows arch a little bit, kind of like that. But it says bringing back the draft, 5 possibilities for the future of military conscription. Have you heard anything about this?
No, but the people that can go to the draft, I feel they are too fat, uneducated, selfish. There's a whole generation underneath us that can't get out of a wet paper bag. So they need to call me back in the draft. Sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Well, I agree, but I mean, I was actually thinking about this when we talked earlier that the truck drivers are being strained, and they're getting a little frustrated out there about not being able to have easy access to meals and places to stretch their legs because everything's closed. And I got thinking if they decided to shut it down, they might actually recall somebody like me, even with my broken back and disability and all, because I can still drive a rig and end up bringing people back that they've had off the books for a long time. So it is a possibility. Hey, drop it like it's Scott in the house. I don't have the gunfire for you. Sorry about that. That's somebody else's. All I can do is go pew pew. All right. Freebird, thanks for the lemon. Appreciate you. Um, yeah, California Critic. I'm going to read this article in just a second, but I'm going to see what California Critic is over here bitching about and where did it go? How far up is it? Um, I don't see it. I got I got Lisa over here working the cheap seats, keeping an eye on the chat for me. But
I can't type back just so people know. I'm not ignoring them. I just have no way to
yeah,
answer back.
yeah, you'd have to do it on YouTube. You'd have to have
And
another
there's such a
window
lag.
open
I
and have the
already
chat.
tried. There's such a
Deidre, how you
lag.
doing? Good to see you. All right. A ghost just walked behind you with a green
Gonna
shirt
take
on.
those ghost
It
puppies
was really
out.
bizarre. Did you know you had ghosts in the house?
I did.
All right. Well, let me jump into this article real quick about the draft. Late in the evening on January 2nd, as Americans contemplated a return to work after the new year. See, this is how far back this goes. New Year holiday, shocking news began to ratchet across the internet. The United States had conducted a deadly drone strike on the Iranian Qasem Salami of the many, one of that country's most esteemed military forces. We all know about that crap, but um, as whispers of possible war gained viral speed, something unexpected happened. The nation's attention turned to the small federal institution that has been little more than a historical footnote since the end of the Vietnam War. Google search traffic for the draft reached its highest levels since at least 2004. United Selective Service Systems website, which officials say was undergoing maintenance at the time, showed nearly to a halt as the panicked visitors flooded in.
Yeah, they don't
I
lose
don't
their
need to read
video
the whole
games.
article, but the fact that's right. But even though this was back in January, it just kind of shows where we are right now as a country. That phrases like bringing back the draft and stuff like that, these are really weird to have all these strange and unusual things coming on. Huh?
I think these people get worried unnecessarily. I don't need to be told to, I don't need a direct order to stay home. I'm a big girl. I know what needs to be done. I understand this is contagious. Uh, we have risk factors in our house. So I'm not going to go expose myself, nor am I going to try to expose someone else. So when these
I got
people get afraid, these young, what are they called? Millennials? What are these people underneath us called?
yeah,
When they hear that they might have to do something
they're millennials.
that requires
Yeah,
stick to itiveness, to take an order, to pay attention, to get out of bed, they freak out.
right,
Sorry.
right. Well, I totally agree. Um, there's another. I said that all the articles were basically COVID-19, but I actually found another one in here that was another little footnote that might be of interest after we can get past all the COVID-19 things. Just something we can possibly follow. A physician is using hormones to treat TBI patients,
Oh,
traumatic
really?
brain injury patients.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is something I found very interesting. While some physicians are shy about using testosterone to treat patients with traumatic brain injury, this hasn't stopped one Southern California physician. Studies have found testosterone hormone therapy can damage patients' brains, but Mark Gordon, Millennium Health Center's founder and medical director, has found a way to carefully increase this and other hormones in his patients. So, says, for example, he has found clomiphene citrate or citrate, a drug commonly used for women trying to become pregnant, can increase the production of testosterone in men. If the patient does not respond to this, Gordon says he will use a low dose of testosterone along with the two other hormones that he claims will counteract testosterone's negative effects on the brain. This has been a battle I have been fighting for more than 15 years with my esteemed colleagues, Gordon said in an email. In assessment of testosterone levels in persons with blast trauma, the traditional healthcare providers tend to do a very limited blood test. Um, Gordon said that Gordon Gordon said it's more than just testosterone. He looks at the patient's levels of neurosteroid, the brain's hormones, and neuroactive steroids, which are produced by the body, and works to get those in balance. Using a science of neurochronology, we assess the brain hormones and those produced by the body as reflections of our brain's health sense after trauma. These can be greatly affected, he said about his Millennium TBI Biomaker panel in a statement. So they're looking at increasing testosterone in people with traumatic brain. um, I guess I'm curious if there's a link between higher levels of testosterone and the body's ability to heal faster. I guess that's where my curiosity came in.
I don't know because he talked. Well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so have no idea.
Well, you should be.
Well, I will go
Thank you,
get that
Propus, for
this
posting
weekend.
that.
Next weekend, we'll go get right on that. Yeah, but it
All right,
says
good. But you'll have to study at home. So you'll have to practice on Randy.
I'll tell him you said that.
Honey, you want to play doctor?
I keep getting my
All
alerts are
right.
just going off like crazy about this stimulus package fails to pass hurdle, leaving the fate of the bill that would send $1,200 checks to U.S. adults in jeopardy. I mean, my poor little phone just keeps lighting up with every little news outlet sending the same doggone thing. So I hope they don't do like you
Well,
said, just in the middle of the
that's
night try to
okay.
pass that.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about the stimulus pack so much. I mean, she's not going to get her way on this one. She can piss and moan and jump up and down like a little screaming child, but the president was pretty adamant about that. And I believe that if she tries to do this, I think the public is going to make it so she can't sleep tonight because they're going to rip her phone off the wall with all the calls and emails and everything. Because this idea that in an emergency, you want to allow corporations to buy back their stock to increase their company's value while the small businesses and the mom and pops are going to risk being shuttered after all of this. It's lunacy. She needs to be put in check on this one.
Well, that's what she was
Um,
able to, what they passed with the Obama bailout, that these companies used our money when their stocks had fallen to an all-time low and we gave them the stimulus package to buy their stocks back.
right.
That's just lunacy to allow something like that to happen.
It's capitalism socialized by the taxpayers. A new thing. Darlene McGee asked here, does anybody know what a chain hook helicopter is for?
A
If
chain hook
it's what I'm
helo.
thinking it is, it's a sling loader for moving supplies.
That's all I can think of.
If you're talking about a Chinook,
Oh.
that's what they use them for. You can move personnel and you can sling load products.
Yeah, I just put in chain hook
A
kilo.
Chinook is the one with the big twin blades.
Right. Uh, and
Yeah,
nothing comes up at chain hooks and some bad eyes.
yeah, got to be Chinook.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah.
Um,
There's-
yeah, it's got to be
Why did
Chinook.
she have
But
Chinook in
yeah,
her
they're used
area?
for slinging cargo. They're used for hauling personnel. I don't know. This is McGee. If you have Chinooks flying around your area,
That aren't
Darlene
normally
McGee,
there. I had two of them that flew over
Pretty
the
good sized
house,
chopper. I
almost
had
took.
two of them.
Are you by
Almost
a
took out the top of
military
trees. Yeah.
installation, Darlene?
Yeah, double propeller. I got to fly one of those with Burl Ives. No kidding. In the back, that
Girl
was pretty
lives.
fun, I guess. That was C that got to do that. Pert and Nate. Yeah, it's a hook for cargo. Yeah, it's a slinger. But all right. So, Pizza Patriot, thank you for the lemons. Man, you are making me so sour. Uh, I guess that's the same as throwing fruit at you and vegetables when you're not doing as good on stage. I'm just waiting for the crook to come across and make me go.
Did
All
they
right.
have military markings on
Now,
the helicopter, Darlene? Do you know?
Mountain Home Air Force Base, but they landed in the little private airport. Well, that's interesting.
Were they military marked or were they
We have
plain?
them staging up. I don't think there are any civilian Chinooks that I know of. If they were
No.
black, they're CIA. If they're gray, they're probably Navy. And if they're blue, they're there'd be air. The green would be Army. So I
It
don't
could
know.
just be a training mission. They could be taking guys up there to learn mountainous things. I don't know. It could be all kinds of non-suspicious stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so getting back to some of the headlines here, Army shutters recruiting stations as 6 recruits show COVID-19 symptoms at basic training. So this is going to slow our getting our recruits trained up and ready to be in the fight. This could be a real problem, when we're talking national security and stuff like that.
It could be, but hopefully they won't let anybody get out either. If that becomes an issue, hopefully they will deter all retirements and things like that.
Wow, thanks for the ice cream, Pete. You're not going to have any food left in your fridge. You keep this up.
Did you see
Um,
sailors
yeah,
don't have to, they're relaxing the grooming standards on sailors to help prevent the exposure.
I heard that they were going to.
Go ahead.
I mean, I heard they were going to let them start having beards again. Back in 1980, when my dad was joined the Navy right out of medical school, he had a full captain's beard. I mean, my dad looked like the Gorton's fisherman in black. But for several years, you were allowed to have a full beard in the Navy, and then they finally changed that policy, and he had to shave it off. But now I've heard they're going to go back to beards. They're going to allow people to wear turbans. They're going to allow them to wear head cover in certain circumstances. But I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard any recent thing about the grooming.
Well, they
but I
said
also
because
don't
they
know
don't.
what benefit is that going to do.
Well, it's during this COVID outbreak. They don't want people gathering in the barbershops and stuff and keeping the 6 feet away. So they've relaxed their grooming standards. That's just
Wow.
funny to me. I mean, every guy had a pair of clippers when I was in.
How
So.
that's. Yeah, I mean, you go into John and you clip off what you need to. You don't have to go pay for a haircut every time.
Yeah. I just find that to be a funny thing that they're worried about. Oh, we better relax the grooming standards. Just close the barbershop. Tell them to get their haircut. They won't get in trouble. Yeah.
Mark
Vietnam
B, you
Gulf
didn't
War
get my
vets.
notice for D Live yet.
Hmm?
Yeah, I've only got 83 people in there, so they're not going to pay too much attention to me yet. As I get more followers, they will. I've got 12 people watching the live stream on D Live right now. DM, thanks for the ice cream. And Pete, another lemon. Thank you, sir. XX Writer dropped me a lemon too. Appreciate you. Anyway, so Captain Ahab. Right, that's what my father looked like when he joined the Navy in 1980.
Men
All
got
right,
out
so
when they
where
had
are
to
we at
shave the
here?
beard. Men got out of the Navy.
Yeah,
I remember looking at everybody one day that coming into work to all these little baby faces. It was so weird.
yeah, yeah. It was weird because I don't think I saw my dad ever without a beard, and he didn't shave it off at home, so he went away to work and came home with a clean face. And I think I was 8 years old. So when he came in the front door, my first instinct was damn near to run and hide because I thought some dude was coming in the house. And until he said, "Hey, boy," but it was a trip. Anyway, so going back to the next one here, Iranian leaders refuse U.S. help, citing virus conspiracy theory. Of course, let the problem is the good people of Iran have a problem, and they should be standing up to the government. I wouldn't care if those killers fell ill of this thing, but the people of Iran should be allowed to get help if they need it. It's so stupid. Governments control the people, and people are too afraid to rise up against them. And that's why everybody keeps having more and more clamps put on their lives.
Yeah, the more they take away
Um,
from you, the more fearful people get. And then they just want to, the socialist and communist way, keep what little bits they do have. And that's, like I said, I
right.
don't need to be told to stay home.
And
I'm a
you,
big girl. I know I need to stay home right now.
right. Well, they're not going to come right out and say this is martial law because that would bring people into the street and say we need you to shelter in place, and then everybody else will do it all by themselves. So it's all terminology at this point.
Well,
Um,
do you think people shouldn't stay home? Do you think uh, that those of us that have chose to stay home for various reasons
well,
are just falling into the hype
I
of
think
it,
that
or what?
the reality of this is, yeah, I think we're dealing with something, and maybe it's significant, maybe it's not, but you don't close down the world for a a fraction of a percentile of the world population. So no matter how people look at the COVID-19, there's something a whole lot more going on in the background than any kind of sniffling thing. That's the way I feel about it. I just wish they'd come right out and tell us what the hell. I don't like them being our mommy and daddy and deciding what's best for us and what we are capable of learning at this point because we can't handle the truth.
Yeah, I
That's the
don't
part
like
that
not being
pisses me
told the
off.
truth. If people were honest with me, I could make better decisions for myself and my family. But it doesn't seem that
Mm-hmm.
I really had, uh, Trump just kills me sometimes. Sometimes I could just poke the guy in the eye, and other times I just want to, give him a big old hug. And I don't find that people are being honest. And I find that
Yeah, there's a
upsetting with
lot of
him.
hiding.
I find that very upsetting. Hello, Grace.
Yeah. Um, the Air Force has gotten involved with world support. The Air Force Super Hercules transport uh, patient staging systems to it by COVID. So they're sending in field hospitals, and this is another thing that's bothering me. Not the field hospitals, good on them. Glad they're doing it. The thing that's bothering me is that they're setting up mass units, and if anybody knows the difference between a field hospital and a mass unit is a forward operating trauma center that's usually 1 to 3 miles from a fighting line, and it's designed to put soldiers back together quickly and get them sent to the rears so they can continue medical therapy. But they're trauma centers, they're usually surgery centers, and I don't know why the hell uh, we need mass units set up outside of certain cities And I also don't understand what part of having a sniffles has to do with everybody making a mad dash to go give blood. There, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody that needed a blood transfusion because they had a cold or the flu or even pneumonia. I've never heard of somebody requiring blood for that. So this demand for everybody to get out and give blood is another little stick in the spokes of their illusion. And I'm picking up on this crap. That's why the more and more it goes, the more I'm feeling like somebody's not telling me stuff.
Well, I don't know about the blood thing because they often put on, we're running low on blood supplies. And I don't know if that's just not from people going, people that want to, because usually it's the older crowd that donates all the blood. But uh, I just feel that,
I like
you
your
know how you and I
optimism.
have talked, that uneasiness that we know something's happening. This feels just like it could be the big
Yeah.
reset. And just tell me. Just tell me that's what's going to be so I can just move on and not be waiting every day to turn on the TV to see if the big reset happened. Just tell me that that's coming.
Yeah, Invader Zim said it best here. His last line there in his comment, he says, I haven't gone outside much anyways, but I will agree there is a whole lot more to this. I also agree with DVP, and one thing is a fact, the government is winning, not the people.
Absolutely.
And yeah, the more clampdowns they do, and remember, in the last few videos I've done, I've been telling everybody about increments. A government can't just decide they're going to lock you down because people will be on the streets. So they got to take little tiny bites, and it's like being eaten. You're not going to be eaten all at once, or you're going to retaliate. They're going to take tiny little bites out of you, and then before long, you're totally consumed, and there was nothing you could do about it. So, yeah, it's a cover, and I
It's like
think
boiling
a cover for
boiling
what
the
I don't
frog in
know.
the water. We don't know we're being
Uh,
boiled.
Proud Ann, thank you for following me on D Live. Appreciate you. Yeah, but, yeah. So, do you have any other articles that are of interest your way, or you wanted to talk about your letter you received? I'd like to give you the floor and let you have some time to discuss that.
Oh, yeah, let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. I have a friend that works in the telecommunications sector, and let me find Alex's text. Okay, here we go. And he, during hurricanes and stuff, he gets a special pass from the government that says that he can go anywhere at any time to do anything that's required based in his job. So that's a normal thing for him to get during hurricanes, tornadoes. Uh, we had a big power outage here in Jacksonville one time, and the letter shows up, and he goes and does what he has to do. Well, Alex, I don't see it here. When was it? About 2 weeks ago, I guess. About 2 weeks ago, he
When you
received a
sent the letter,
letter. Hmm. What?
when are you talking about? When you sent me the text,
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago.
it was days ago. I
Days
don't think it
ago.
was that
Yeah,
long ago. It was just about 3 days ago.
I don't see it in my text messages, and I lost everything with that whole debacle. Um, uh, he received a letter, and I think it was about 2 weeks ago. It might have been a week. That is letting him travel anywhere at any time in any lockdown environment to work on telecommunications and fiber. I don't know, and he doesn't know what that has to do with Chinese virus. And it's just a very suspicious thing that he's received, and then he subsequently has received more letters about different things that he needs to keep on hand. And he doesn't have a logical track as to where this is going in his mind. It doesn't make sense to any of us that he would receive this letter because there is no communication breakdown. So no one has been
Right.
able to figure out where this is going. What is he being prepped to do? Is he being prepped to take towers down or to boost towers up? Is he being prepped to reroute the fiber
April
or add new fiber?
Fool.
Huh? What?
April Fools. Just another reference to April 1st. I want people to take a look at April 1st through the 10th and just look at what is being scuttlebutted around the internet about April 1st through the 10th. I just want people to take a minute and do that. Proud Ann, thank you for the lemon. Appreciate you. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm good. That's all I had.
Really? Well,
Hmm.
that wasn't that much. But um, all right. Well, here's the thing I want to bring up about. I just listened to the briefing right before we went live. As a matter of fact, when I cut in, I should have said we interrupt this presidential briefing to bring you more important news, but I didn't do that. So we could do that now, or maybe not. But anyway, Peter Navarro's White House Trade Council, in his statement, we talked about the hoarders before the show, people that are hoarding and then trying to price gouge the government. It's not a good idea. But in his statement, he says, if you have what we need, get it out to market, or we are coming for you. And that was a quote. So I understand that we are supposed to sit back and think that he is talking to the hoarders about people that are warehousing stuff and then trying to use brokers to broker deals with the government and to get the biggest price they can get for this stuff. Trying to price gouge the government's not a good idea because they'll just kick your door in and seize your building and take whatever the hell they want. The problem is I don't like how vague their comments are because of the executive order that was signed by the Obama administration that basically allows the government to take control of all private, commercial, and federal properties and materials of any description. And when he is as vague as he is, it makes it sound like if you have what we need, we're coming for you. What do they need? Maybe 2 or 3 cans of beans. And if you have 6 cans of beans, they're going to take half of your beans. I just don't like the vague. I'm not comfortable with it because I don't trust governments. I know what they're capable of. I know what they have done. So when they are not careful with their words and they don't speak in complete structure, when they make it as vague as they do, I have a real problem with that.
When they make open-ended comments where it's left to interpretation.
Right. Yeah, Vince, you're right. Uh, so, what's your thought on it, though? I know we talked before the show, but I want people to hear what you
I
think on the show too, because that's what it's about.
Well, I heard it differently, and I just took it as those people that are always trying to tattoo the government at, the P3 toilet seat for $600. Yes, I got to sit on one. Uh, I just find it they're saying you're on notice. Don't, you know, fair market value for your goods. If not, we'll go another route to address your bad acts. That's how I feel that it was put out because nobody should be hoarding anything. I mean, my daughter works in healthcare and she can't
Right.
get a mask. It's crazy. But you got somebody with a warehouse full of them and wants to hold the government hostage. You know, I I just have different opinion
Yeah.
of that.
Well, I agree with that one. Well, that's the thing. I want both opinions. I am the pessimist because I think anytime they have the opportunity, they're going to stick it to the people as often as they can. But you have the optimistic attitude, which is good because you see things from one side and I see them from the other. And maybe the people that are watching can split the difference. But
Right.
that's
Right.
actually the best way to do it.
Yeah. Well, I when I see that my godmother is sewing masks for the hospitals in Louisiana. She's sewing all these masks so these
Thank
nurses
you,
and
Pete.
doctors. Hmm?
I just
Pardon?
said thank you, Pete. He dropped a diamond.
No,
Didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
that's okay.
Please
No, I
go ahead.
was just talking about that there's nurses, there's people on the front lines. It is a deadly virus. It is hurting people. It is spreading. I don't understand what the hubbub is compared to the flu, but when poor Italy had 780 deaths in one day just from this, not total for the country of people that died from all kinds of causes, but just from this disease, there is a problem with it. And so I want to make sure that our healthcare providers, our police officers, first responders, all those people, even the people at Walmart that are going to work to sell us toilet paper, you know, and I just don't think anybody
Right.
should be hoarding it, and shame on them.
Well, I agree. Well, here's the thing that I find interesting in Florida when they declare a state of emergency in Florida. Um, Typically, when it's done for hurricanes, it means there's a price lock that
Hmm.
all prices stop at that point. There can't be increases, and typically there aren't decreases either. They don't do sales and stuff. But why can't we do that nationwide and put an end to all this gouging? Because it seems to me that if it works for a state, it should work for the country. But the only thing I am seeing though is that that would freeze gas prices too, typically. So our run on fuel right now would be a lot more comfortable. But either way, if we put a freeze on it, no more price increases or decreases, it would put a quick stop to this stuff.
It would, and I can tell you,
Um,
my father worked for the Saudi Arabian government for a while, and they told him, the prince at that time told him that if they kept the price of oil at $20 a barrel, they would be richer, beyond their wildest dreams for 10 generations. And there was a saying to that to come. So it's greed. We have places in
mhm.
Kentucky I saw that are charging 99 cents a gallon, and I'm being charged $1.87, a gallon. So
Well, we get
there's
ripped
this.
off in northern Florida all the time.
Yeah. But I don't, like you were
Right
saying,
now,
make
I
a
mean,
nationwide.
Pensacola.
Hmm?
Well, I was just going to say that in Pensacola, we have some of the highest prices for fuel in all of Florida,
Yeah.
and it's really stupid because they take it and they ship it to North Carolina in a pipe, and then they put it in trucks in North Carolina and drive it back down to the Panhandle. So we have the fuel being made 58 miles from here, but they want to pipe it up to North Carolina and send it back.
Yeah.
So it's stupid.
Well, yeah, it's like, now that China turned around those ships with all the medical supplies, took it back to them for their China virus. Uh, we need to be
Yeah,
we need to be a self sufficient country and then start stepping out to take care of others. But we sold our ports, we
that's
send
right.
our hogs to China to be processed to make me a ham steak to send it back. That's
Hmm.
ridiculous. That's insane. I won't
Yeah,
eat it.
the whole
I
thing is
don't
stupid.
buy it. I just don't buy it. If it doesn't say on the label raised and
Right.
processed in the USA, I don't buy it.
Right. All right. Well, looks like really that's our whole hour. Can you believe that? That just went flying by. Anything that you want to close up with and let people know about before we get out of here?
No, just take care of each other. If you have elderly neighbors, please check on them. Someone's taking care of my parents, and I really appreciate it because they don't want to get out and they don't want to get sick, and I don't blame them because I don't want them to end up in a tent
Right.
city hospital someplace without a ventilator if they needed one, God
Right.
forbid. Just take care of each other, don't hoard,
Yeah.
and come back next Sunday.
Yeah. And arm us. If they do a shelter in place, you can think there are going to be a lot of drug people that are on drugs that aren't going to be able to get out to get their drugs. They're not going to be able to get the money to buy their drugs. They will be seeking places to do that. Make sure you arm up, you stay armed up, and you are prepared to defend what is yours because it's going to get worse out here before it gets better.
Yeah, with
My
all the
military
kids out of
folks, you guys know
school,
the deal. It comes in
yeah,
increments.
all the kids here are very restless.
Right,
All the teenagers have nothing to do. No movies, no skate,
right.
no beach, and then people are getting restless.
Hmm. All right. Well, over here on D Live, I want to go ahead and take a minute. I've been promising to open this chest, and I'm up to 51.2 Ninos in it. So I want to go ahead and pop that chest and let you guys do the mad hungry hippo and see who can get the most. So it is now opening and distributing rewards. 24 seconds. Run, everybody, run! Anyway, I'll explain what D Live is to you shortly, but it's kind of fun. You get Bitcoin from it, and all the Bitcoin is identified as edibles, edible stuff. It's a bit currency, not Bitcoin, but it's a digital currency. So, yeah, it's not the Bitcoin. But anyway, letting that tick down. Okay, luckiest followers. Got Scarecrow, Freebird, DM, Carmageddon, and Pete the Patriot. Congratulations. Winner, 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 chicken dinner. All right. With that being said, y'all, that's it for us this week. Please come back next week. We'll pay attention during the week. We'll be up for our afternoon news with Pete and me, and I'll get more videos out as I get more information. But anyway, thank you all for coming. Appreciate my mods. You guys rock the joint. All you folks that hung out over here on D Live and on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you all. We love you guys and stay in the fight.
Bye.